I'm living the life, everyone. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Now I don't know about you, but I've had a pretty stressful week at work. It just hasn't been good. So I just wanted something nice and easy, just really chilled. So I found this little paper craft kit and I thought it would be quite a de-stressing, fun, easy activity to do. And hopefully it will be quite nice. Hopefully it won't stress me out any further than I already am. Okay, so this is the little kit that I bought from a website called odia.com. And it's a mini Monstera plant paper craft kit for $19.95. And it says make your own mini cheese plant, aka the Monstera, with this beautiful kit by Susie McClellan. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. Each kit contains all the pieces you need to make your very own houseplant that will live on forever, which is fantastic because I do have a habit of killing all my plants. So the kit contains pre-cut leaves, mini terracotta pot, floral oasis foam, florist wire, florist tape, PVA glue wooden paintbrush applicator, instructions and pre-cut plant pot topper. Sounds fab. The paper is FSC accredited from the UK, if that means anything to anyone. And this craft kit is only for adults, it's not suitable for children, so I can only apologise if any children want to try this. It is not for you. Don't buy it. Don't waste your mum's money, because you won't be able to do it, will you? And I think it looks quite nice. It does look like a really relaxing, easy craft to do, which is something that I just need today. So I'm hoping it doesn't stress us out. If it does end up being stressful, I'm going to be very pissed off. I'm not in the mood. Okay, so this is how the little kit came. And it looks quite cute. I like the packaging. But before we open it up, I do think I need a glass of wine. That's how bad this week's been. I really just want to chill out, and some Pinot is going to help. Just want a small glass, just to wet the lips. I haven't had wine in so long, that's great. It's relaxed us already. Okay, let's open this kit up, see what it's like. Look at that presentation, that's special. Okay, so let's see what we've got. So we've got a bit of the floral foam. The cutest little terracotta pot I've ever seen. That's adorable. We've got some green wire, a stick, paintbrush, some paper cut out leaves, and some other little bits of paper. Don't lose them, I'll put them to one side. And then we have some of this stuff. I'm not sure what this is. It smells funny. It smells familiar. It smells like something old. Kind of like a grandparent's house or something. Maybe it smells a bit dusty. Oh, it's quite a nice smell actually. I don't know what this is. It looks like lip balm. Oh, it's just some glue. That's a nice little pot for glue. I could reuse that. Oh, and if anyone wanted to know, you can find Susie on Instagram. It's at Susie McClellan. I'll put a little thing here. I haven't seen their Instagram, so I don't know whether it's anything interesting to follow, but you're more than welcome to check it out if you want to. This is what I love so much in a craft kit. It's the best. How detailed are these instructions? And you've got pictures and step-by-step guides, and it just looks easy to follow. My brain looks at this and I'm not terrified. Oh yeah, this is some good instructions. Ah, Susie, you're on the ball. Okay, so our first step is to put this bit of foam down so it fits into the pot. Okay, done. And then we place the brown circular paper shape over the oasis foam as pictured. So this brown circle bit just goes just over the top. Okay, the next step is just to fold these leaves in half, just so they've got a seam down the middle of them, and then unfold them just so they've got the crease. That's easy enough. The thing is, wine and crafting just goes hand in hand, doesn't it? There's nothing better than a day of crafting with a nice cold refreshing glass of wine.
Undesignated grapes!
And this video isn't sponsored by wine or this craft kit or anything like that. I think work's been so stressful at the minute because I don't know whether anyone else has to work in a team or works with obviously other people in their job, but when you're working with other people, certain people, I will obviously not name names and not go into details about it, but when those people don't pull their weight and aren't very good at their job, and you feel like you're doing 2 people's jobs or even 3 people's jobs, a shift at work is quite difficult. So I think that's why I'm a little bit chewed today, and I just needed something a little bit relaxing and just easy. But especially yesterday at work was just, it was just an absolute nightmare. The worst thing is if you know how to do something and you know what works properly in your job, and you tell someone the right way to do something or the better way to do something to make that job easier, you, and then they don't listen and do the complete opposite, and then what you've said will happens, and it goes wrong, but you already told them that, they just didn't listen to you. It's very frustrating. There's only so many times I can say I told you so, but hey ho. It's the weekend now, and I'm happy I don't have to go to work for another couple of days. Okay, so all them leaves are folded. So the next step is to use your little wooden dowel and just shape the leaves by curling them. I think this is just to make them look a little bit more real. Yeah, you want to curl them away from the fold. Oh yeah, that looks nice. The thing is, I'm not a great paper crafter either, so I do find paper crafts quite intimidating. But I'm enjoying this one so far, it's quite nice. Oh, also some good news though. I woke up this morning to an email from the lottery saying to check my lottery ticket because I'd won a prize. And I was like, oh, here we go. I've won £90 million or something. And I read my message and I won £2.90. But you know, it's better than nothing. It wasn't the jackpot or anything, but I'll take £2.90 any day. Don't know what I'll spend this £2.90 on. I'll have to really give it some thought. It wouldn't even buy us a bottle of wine, would it? Well, it could probably buy us a very, very cheap, horrible bottle of wine. I might go for that, actually. I'm not a snob when it comes to wine. I like all wine, as long as it gets you drunk. Okay, so I feel like my leaves are nice and curved now. So we're using these little wires for the next step. Okay, so I need my glue, and I also need these little green discs that were in the kit as well. And all I'm doing is putting a little bit of glue on the back of the leaf, sticking my wire down, and then wedging this green circle over the top. And you have to wait a couple of minutes for the glue to dry. Put it to one side, we'll work on the rest of these. Okay, I've run into a slight issue with this kit because I've only got 3 bits of wire left and I've got 5 leaves, so it hasn't given us enough wire, so that's a bit irritating. So my plant's gonna have 2 less leaves than what it should have. I thought I might have dropped them, but I can't find them anywhere. And I thought maybe you had to cut them down or something, but it doesn't say you have to cut them down. So that's a little bit unfortunate. I think that's been a mistake. I think they just put 2 less in by accident. It's not something I'm gonna lose my mind over or anything like that, but it's just, I'm just disappointed. I'm just a tad disappointed. I'm not upset, I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed in you. But I'm sure my plant's still gonna look great. Okay, so I just need to wait for that glue to dry. But that wasn't too bad. That was very, very easy. Obviously, it was just gluing and sticking. I can't believe I've got 2 less wires though. I definitely haven't dropped them anywhere. No, they're definitely not here. I can't find them. So I guess I'll just sit back and relax for a little bit. I don't know whether you've noticed I've got a new chair. It's a fancy chair as well. I'll show you what it can do. I know I just recently bought a new chair, but my old chair was the most uncomfortable chair I've ever sat on. I should have returned it really. I don't know why I kept it for so long. So this chair has a footrest, a built-in footrest, and then I press this button. It's a massaging chair. How ridiculous is this? Yes, this is definitely what I needed today. A little paper craft kit, wine, and a massage. I'm living the life, everyone. I feel like one of those housewives of the telly. You know how they have the housewives of like loads of different cities? I feel like one of them. Apart from I don't have the money. But I don't think they have anything to do all day, do they? So they just drink wine and have massages. Okay, I could be a part of that life. I really could. They've got something going, haven't they? Well, I'll meet you back in a few minutes once the glue dries. I'm just gonna enjoy myself really, I know.
Don't touch my daughter. Okay, right.
Okay, so I think all that glue's dried now, and I'm not gonna lie, that wine it's warmed us up quite a bit. I'm quite shocked. I think once you haven't had a drink in a while, when you do finally have a drink, it hits you quicker than you expect. Okay, so the next step, it says bend the wires downwards as pictured below, and I need 3 of them to start off with. You want to place 1 higher than the other 2. I think like that. I think that looks good. And then this stuff, this dusty tape, is floral tape, and apparently if you stretch it, it exposes the sticky adhesive. Well, I didn't realise it was going to snap, did I? Yeah, it does get sticky, but it's not super stretchy, so don't stretch it like I stretched it. And then we're just going to wrap it around here. Okay, and then you basically add the rest of them how you fancy it. Okay, I think I might be happy with that. Cut the excess of this off, and then cut the excess wire off. Ah, that's cute. Cute with a capital K. And then we just shove it in. It's a shame I didn't have the other 2 leaves, because it would have filled it out a little bit. Alright, I think I'm happy with mine. No, I want to cut this down a bit more. Oh, that looks so much better. Look how adorable it is. It's lovely. Oh, don't know whether that's the wine speaking or not, but I quite like what I've made. Yeah, if we had them 2 extra leaves in, it definitely would have padded it out a little bit. So it's a little bit sad, isn't it? But, you know, the world's not fair. Okay, so what are my final thoughts on this Paper Monstera plant kit? I'll give it 4 plants out of 5. I think it's been a nice little kit. It did lose a point for obviously the fact that I was missing 2 bits of wire, which was a shame, but I've had fun. It's been a really nice and easy little craft project to do. And I'm feeling so tipsy, it's unreal. I'm shocked. I've only had half a glass of wine. What's happened to is such a lightweight. It is morning, so that might be why, but still. I used to be able to handle a bottle of wine. I used to be able to, well, I was just about to say I used to be able to handle 2 bottles of wine. I never used to be able to handle 2 bottles of wine. I used to think I was able to handle 2 bottles of wine, and that was a lie. That was a mistake. I would end up on the floor, covered in vomit. But hopefully you have enjoyed today's craft and wine video. I think it's been fun. It's definitely what I needed today. If you did enjoy today's video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and let me know what you think of my little plant. But it's adorable. It's lovely. Thank you very much, Susie, for making this craft kit. But you owe us 2 bits of wire. And I was actually going to record an extra video today as a midweek treat for next week. But I don't know whether that's a good idea. I'll have my lunch. We'll see how we go. Anyway, I just keep rambling on to myself, so I'll see you next week for a brand new video. That wine's alright, actually. It's a bit dry, but I don't mind it.